Hi Pine class, it's Wednesday morning and in maths this week we're looking at area, and today you guys are going to be making shapes with particular areas. Now I've got a challenge that I've started and I want you to continue for me. So the challenge I've got is this: my new garden patio must have an area of 8 squares. How many different shaped patios can I construct with an area of 8 squares? So I've started to have a go at this challenge using 8 squares, but I'd like you to continue with it and see how many I could make overall. So here's what I've got so far. Again, I've been using post-it notes. So here's my patio number 1, this rectangular shape. You can see I've used 8 post-it notes. That's my first patio design that is an area of 8 squares. Here's my second one, this kind of winding patio. Again, it's 8 squares if you count my post-it notes. And this is the third one I've designed. It's kind of a long rectangular shape that sort of goes around the corners at both ends, you can see. So I've managed to design 3 differently shaped patios, all of which have 8 squares, but are there more designs that I could have done using 8 squares? Can you use either post-it notes or you can cut up pieces of paper, whatever you like, as long as the squares are the same size, and see if you can complete my challenge and show me some pictures of the other differently shaped patios that I could construct that have an area of 8 squares. So that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 involves your name. Now what I've done here is I have written out my first name and I've divided it into squares. It would be a lot easier if I had squared paper to do this, and you should do it with squared paper that I'll send across. And I wanted to find out what the total area in squares was of my first name. So what I did was I split each letter up into squares, and then I counted the number of squares that made up each letter. And to make sure that I didn't make a mistake, I put a purple dot in each square to show that I'd counted it. So my S is 11 squares, my O is 8 squares, P is 11 squares, H is 10 squares, I is 4 squares, don't forget the dot on the top of the I, and my E is 12 squares. Then when I added all of those areas together, I found that I had a total of 56 squares that make up my name. So your second challenge is, what is the area of your name in squares? And you can use the squared paper that I send to you. So a couple of extra challenges. I'll also be sending along a worksheet that has got some more making shapes challenges for you to be getting on with. Good luck, take lots of photographs, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you get on.